Welcome to AP Workshops, welcome to our tech films. This particular tech film we're going to be showing you how to strip and service the suspension link or the dog bone on a Gen 1 RSV. These need servicing regularly, dependent on your mileage clearly, but they do tend to get neglected. This can end up pretty catastrophic if they're not looked after. So we're going to show you how to service and look after your suspension link on your Gen 1 RSV. So just to make sure we're absolutely clear on exactly what's going on, if you have a look at this Gen 1 RSV, this is a 2003 version. There are different versions, but this part here, which obviously looks like a dog's chewing bone, this part here is exactly the part that we're going to be looking for. So in order for us to be able to strip and service this, there are bearings that we need to get to in here, and actually in the swinging arm here. In order for us to be able to service this correctly, we have put a wood block of the right shape and size underneath the back wheel. We're then going to loosen these bolts off, okay, take this apart, put this out on the bench, lay it all out so you can see exactly what's going on with this one. Okay mate, away you go. So obviously while we're stripping the components, we've got on this particular situation, on this particular model, we've got 4 bolts that need removing. The nuts are 15 millimeters and the bolt heads are 13 millimeters. So we need to basically just make sure that we're loosening everything off. This bit's fairly straightforward. On a Gen 2 bike, which we will do later, they can be a little bit more tricky. The reason being is because there's an exhaust in the way. RSV4s as well, if you just remove the silencer on an RSV4 you can take that off, but we perhaps if you let us know in the comments below, we can do that again and we can show you exactly what's going on, and we can strip that and we can do the strip on that, but it's quite important that we show you what's going on with this one. So once you've got your parts out, we've got them nice and sort of laid out for you to see what's going on. So sometimes you do get a little bit of rubbing here. Just make that focus, sorry about that. A little bit of rubbing here. I'll explain all of that a little bit later on, but the 3 components that we need to be spending some time with are, this is the dog bone link, these are the side plates. These all need inspecting whilst they're off. These all need inspecting and making sure once they're actually cleaned up that there's no cracks or kind of excessive corrosion or any corrosion at all really. So a good strip, clean, and find out exactly what's going on even before we take the pins out, so we know exactly what's going on. So we're just going to clean this up and make sure there's no sort of damage on it. So we're just going to use sort of like a carburetor cleaner, which is a little bit harsh. You don't need that. Put some gloves on and keep it away from your eyes, otherwise it stings like hell. We're looking for any cracks along the around here, which is normally where it would happen if it's been seized. Anything around here, or any kind of cracks or dents or corrosion. Lines are not obscured, sort of, are not really obvious. They're quite common, but then it's the cracks that we're looking for. Just an example like that. Look, have a quick look here. There's a line here, but it's, if you can see down there, it doesn't go anywhere. It is just a casting or like a machining mark on it, so there's no big problems with that. So we're just going to do the side plates again next. Checking for breaks, corrosion, rub marks, just to make sure there's nothing excessive. These are in really good condition. There's nothing wrong with these. There's a little few rub marks here. Other than that, no problems. Same on this one. So there's again a few rub marks, but there's no lines, ridges, cracks or breaks. Looks really good. Yeah, that's all good, no problems. Okay, so what we're going to do now is strip the bearings out, strip the bushings and the bearings, and have a quick look at what's going on. So these are the suspension bushings. We're checking those for rust, any kind of markings, dents, anything along those lines. That looks in really good condition, no problems. And again, the one on the other side, again, pulling it, stripping it, making sure that it's actually, there's no dents, dinks or anything. That one's got a little bit of corrosion on one side of it, but it's, to be fair, it's in absolutely perfect condition, no problems. So again, inside, these has got the original style bearings in there that we've got, that we're looking for. I'll cut to a picture to show you sort of some close-ups on those particular. Okay, and basically we're going to just check and make sure that they're greased. So they all look, to be fair, the guy who owns this Reese is basically, he really looks after his bike, so there isn't any real big problems with this one as it sits by the looks of things. It looks really nice. So we're going to pack it with grease again, make sure it's all looked after, nice and clean inside, then we'll reassemble it. Okay. Push that grease right into the bearing so you can see exactly what's going on, so it gets right in there. These are all really clean. Obviously, if it's not really clean, or if it's not, the bearings need taken out. Now the original ones aren't, or what they're called, basically they aren't captive. So the original bearings that come out of this, if you have a look, if you start picking at them, they'll fall out. That's nothing to worry about. Take them out, clean them up, put them all back in again. It's a fiddly job, but you know, that's sort of, it's just the way it is. The ones we sell in our kits are uprated slightly. They're slightly heavy duty. They've got and they are caged, so they're slightly different, and they do the job more than amicably. Not a problem. No worries. So we're just going to clean all of that up, make sure the bearings are packed out. We're going to slide the bushings back in when they're, just to make sure they're all clean, there's no dirt or grit back on those. That will go back in, reassemble, no problems. Same on the other side. Just again, Angelo's just going to give it a bit of a clean up, because you don't want dirt inside that particular bearing. It's not good form, so we'll do what we can on that one. Okay, so one other thing that we haven't shown you at this particular point in time is there is another bush inside the actual swinging arm that needs dealing with as well. Angelo's just going to push that one out so you can see what's going on, see how clean or good it is. How's it looking?
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, still good?
Yeah.
Obviously, don't forget to go back inside those bushings and make sure that they're okay. Make sure these bearings in here are all good. Make sure they're clean. Again, they're the same type of bearings that basically were in the original, the dog bone link. So if they're dirty or they need taken away, then take them out, give them a clean, pop them back in again. Use grease to pack them back in again. So Angelo's just going to sort of, like I said, repack these just to make sure that everything's clear and good. Mustn't forget this one, because this one can get forgotten. But again, it will wear out, no problems, if we're not careful on it. So he's going to do that. So Angelo's just going to give it a wipe round, especially around the back, sort of just make sure, like I said, it's just a pain in the backside sometimes. If you have a look at the bottom link of the suspension, sort of the bottom joint on the suspension, I'm not 100% what it's called, sort of the bottom mount, the bit that Angelo's kind of just cleaning. Have a look around there for cracks just to make sure, because it's aluminium and sometimes it can get a bit sort of a bit furry and a bit grotty if the bike's been neglected in the past, but we'll see what we can do, and he's going to start reassembling. Okay, at this point we've already pointed out the fact that there is a arrow on top of the plate. So if you have a look at the way that the plate is put back together again, the arrow on this side plate should be at the top facing forward. There isn't any variations on this. The arrow on the side plate is at the top facing forwards. Again, you've seen the picture, so we'll cut to another picture so you can see the orientation on it. that's it, loosely reassembled. We're going to actually physically tighten up the bolts now, make sure that they're all tightened up. The tightening torque on every one of these bolts on all of the models is 50 Newton meters. So what we do is we tighten them up to 50 Newton meters with a torque wrench that we've got calibrated in our workshop, so we know that that's correct. But go get yourself a good one if you haven't got one, it's definitely worth it. So you know exactly what's going on. So pre-loosening it up just to make sure everything's tight. Then we'll go and grab the torque wrench and we'll tighten everything up there as well. Perfect. Then we've got 3 more around the other side. Okay, so when we've tightened up and torqued up all those nuts and bolts, now Angelo uses a tyre pen. It's just a tyre pen we got from eBay, basically just to mark off one of the to mark off the nuts. So if you're ever looking underneath and you want to find out, just to make sure it's not moving, we just put a little pen mark on there just to make sure that it's just not moving, so you can see what's going on. So there we have it. That's it basically in a nutshell. Gen 1 suspension linkage strip. If you have any questions about that, we sell the bearing kits just in case you find out that there's big problems with them. We'll put some pictures on this as well of sort of like the dead bits and pieces that we've got, that we found as we've been going along. I'm sure you've all seen pictures on Facebook about how it all goes wrong and forums and stuff like that, so be careful, check them regularly. Like I said, check the link in the description and we can make sure that you've got, we sell kits, spare parts if you need them, no dramas whatsoever.
Welcome to my little section again. Griff and Angelo have shown you through the dog bone service. Hopefully that's gone okay. If for any reason parts are failing, rusting, or do you know what, just generally looking tired, we've got everything in stock to make sure you can get it nice and refreshed. Dog bones, we've got the bearing kits for the Gen 1, Gen 2 and V4 kits. These work really well. Also having cage bearings, they make it a lot more easier for maintenance in the future. Can't forget Spooky's original Teflon washers. These are great for keeping all the grime and road dirt out of your bearings, so that's always nice and fresh. We also have our upgraded suspension plates, which are thicker and a lot stronger than the genuine ones that come from the factory. To go with everything else that we spoke about, we have got all manner of suspension pins, bolts and everything associated with the suspension area around your dog bone. If you need any help getting anything you need for, or you're unsure what bike you've got or what particular part you need, you're more than welcome to give us a call or email us at sales@apworkshops.co.uk. and everything's available on the website as well. Thank you very much. Thanks for checking in with me. It has been pointed out from my first little video part of this part that I'm actually a little bit like a newsreader, so next video I'm going to be a little bit more myself. Thank you. Cheers.